Hello there, video game community. This is Salfos of Akron VGC here reviewing Capcom's newest game, Monster Hunter Tri for the Wii. And if you're a fan of the series, you're gonna love this game because what's more fun than hunting giant-ass monsters with your best buds and dog, and hunting giant monsters with your friends and skinning them alive to make better armor and equipment. But there is a problem with this game, though, is that compared with the other predecessors, the game lacks a lot of the monsters. You see a lot of monsters have disappeared, only keeping like 4 or 5 old favorites. But they make those up because they gave us a whole new set of new monsters, which you will thoroughly enjoy. And so, well, this game actually has offline play for the first time. Well, since the PlayStation they didn't have online. But the problem is that you can only play in arena mode, so you can't do any story stuff together. But the arena plays fun because once you unlocked all the monsters, you guys can sit there and see how fast you can beat the animals in a target time and gain rewards, of course. And the online, it does support Wii. Anyway. It does. Alright, the game does support Wii Wi-Fi, so you can play online wirelessly to other people across the world. The only problem is if you got like 5 or more buddies that are wanting to hook up together, only you guys have to go into lobbies of 4. That is a problem I saw with this game that I didn't like, is that it's a traditional Monster Hunter, only 4 people in a room together, so there isn't like lots of people hanging out and you can just form your teams there, which I think they should change that. But otherwise it's pretty good because it sets up, you guys go, you're all ready, you all head out together, which that makes the game pretty good. And the fact that it also supports one of the Nintendo Wii Speak, which is pretty good. Alright, so if you've played the Monster Hunter series before, you pretty know, or you're pretty much familiar with the weapon and armor system, which it's all the same. There is no leveling in this game. Your armor value you can increase through certain items, and weapons you upgrade through getting certain components, and that's how you make all your armor and weaponry, which is pretty clever. However, if you played Monster Hunter Freedom Unite for the PSP, you're kind of let down because they reduce the amount of weapons you have. In this game, there's only the long sword, the great sword, sword and shield, the switch axe, the bow gun, and the hammer, as compared to having like gun lances. Oh, and there's the lance, and there's gun lances and all. They cut all of that out from the other game, so you kind of are let down. But then the new switch axe is pretty unique. It's an axe which can switch into a sword that has elemental damage, and then also has an elemental discharge that's similar to like the Wyvern Fire, but it's not. But so it's kind of a few weapons put in one that it's still a unique weapon that will keep you entertained, and so you'll still be playing lots of hours into the Monster Hunter, just not as much as previous Monster Hunters. So that's about it. If you
It's going now.
Alright, now after everything else, I'm going to talk about a little bit about the controls here, because, you know, using a Wiimote and a nunchuck, I find it to be very quirky because you got to do a lot of twisting and stuff, which I'm not used to because I've played the older series, which I'm more used to. What I like how they set this up is that if you have a classic controller here, you can have the button set up like as a PSP, like what I'm familiar with because I've played Monster Hunter Freedom Unite. Or if you guys have played Monster Hunter on the PlayStation 2, you can have it set up to be exactly like that with the classic controller. So it spreads across all three systems on the one game, which I kind of like. And if you want the Wii Classic Pro controller, then you're going to have to order, you would have to have gotten the pre-order box here that I luckily got because somebody didn't pick it up, so I'm a lucky little person. But the controls aren't that bad for the Wiimote. Like my friend, I gave him the Wiimote and he learned it because he has never played a Monster Hunter and he can shoot a bowgun like no other using a Wiimote, so that's pretty handy if you haven't played. So I was to just try and give all of them which one is your better look out of all of them. And so, as I end this review, Monster Hunter Tri, it's a very good game for what it's been. Graphics aren't bad. Replay value is really high. You'll spend lots of hours. If you're a fan of the series, this is probably a good buy for you. It's a good buy for anyone, I say. And so, I'm going to give this an 8 out of 10 because there is some lacking of what from older ones that they could have kept, but they brought in new stuff to keep it highly entertaining. And so, and this is okay, and the disclaimer, reviews are not meant to trash any game, insult anybody, or anything. It's meant to be fun and played, and Akron VGC is not affiliated with the University of Akron. And this is Salfos saying, play on.